In this movie, we're going to explain how to bring your settings from an older version of EnRoute to a newer version of EnRoute. And this can be whether you're upgrading from EnRoute 3 to EnRoute 4, or if you've installed EnRoute 4 on a new computer and you want to bring your settings over, or EnRoute 3 on a new computer. For the most part, the files that you're going to copy from one version of EnRoute to another are going to be the same regardless of the level or what the situation is. So for any given version of EnRoute, I'm going to try and do this using doing this through Windows Explorer, and you can get to that easily by going to the Start menu and right-clicking and choosing Explore, or any other number of ways. When you get into the Explorer, I want to get to the version where I see the columns on the left or the folders on the left, and I see on the right everything listed in columns, which is the display version, and or details. If I right-click here on the right-hand side and go to View, I can choose Details, or I can go to the View menu and choose Details to get to this stage. And once you're here, you can sort things by name or by the type of file they are by clicking the column header, name, column, date, or size. In this case, I'm going to sort things by the type. So when it comes to bringing your files over, if I sort by type and then scroll down, I can see configuration settings, and these are just text-based INI files that would allow you to take information and see what it is, and then copy it from one version of EnRoute to the other. So you have your tool library INI, your strategies, a plate library, plans, which will be more than one strategy. We'll have a password, which you may or you don't want to copy this one if you're going to paste it into a new one. You would need to rerun the password installer, but you can always go and see the password, which is stored here, and your job estimator INI, which would allow you to change the factor that's used when calculating job estimation. So you want to pick the relevant INI files. Most likely it'll be the strategies, the templates, and the tool library, plate library, and maybe a material library and job estimator. And then I'm just going to right click and copy, or I can do Control C or just drop and drag and then paste this into the new EnRoute. Right here I'll go to EnRoute 2 and I'll say I want to paste, and you want to overwrite the existing files. And when you overwrite them, you're going to have the settings from your older EnRoute put into the new EnRoute version. Now you want to do all this with EnRoute closed. And there are a couple of the things you might want to bring over. If you're doing auto toolpath, then you might want to go to the auto toolpath function and bring over some of your ATP files. So here we would have an auto toolpath XML. This is your preferences, and your ATP, which would be your auto toolpath settings. You can copy and paste these, and these would work in conjunction with your other tool library and your strategies, because they will be referenced in this ATP thing, and the same would be true for labels. If you have the label option, you might want to copy some of your label files over so that you would have the same labels pasted. One other thing you might want to do is drivers, and here I have a few driver files. If I go to my EnDrivers folder, you can pick out the name of the driver you're using. There might be 3 different files. You will have a DLL, a PST, and a CNF, which is a text-based file that can be edited. The CNF stores the information such as your speed rates and your default tool changer settings in your tool library. So the CNF is the main file that stores that data. The DLL and the PST are actually the driver files that convert the EnRoute code to the output language for a specific machine. So if you have all 3, copy all 3. If you only have 2, copy both of those. And one other type of file might be an INI file. Some drivers have an INI file for particular settings. So if you have an INI, you want to copy that one as well, and copy all the relevant files from your one EnDrivers folder and paste them into the other EnDrivers folder. That will handle your drivers. So you have your EnRoute INI files, which you want to copy over. You have your auto toolpath files you might want to copy over with labels. You have your driver files. And the last thing would be your EnRoute preferences. Now if I sort here by name, I can go and search for EnRoute preferences XML. For EnRoute version 4, you can copy this from one computer to another and bring your preferences over. For EnRoute 3, the preferences are stored in the registry and they cannot be transported from one copy of EnRoute to another. So for preferences, that's another option you have. And this has been an explanation of how to bring your settings over. And feel free to email us if you have any questions.